Thank you for having me here tonight and for this opportunity to address you. I am your newest nominee for Superior Court, having been nominated to run in the general election September 8th. So I do want to make sure I get out there, let people know I'm definitely on the ballot, and hopefully grab that support that will cause us to win in November. We do have 3 openings on Superior Court now and 2 openings on Supreme Court. People basically ask me 3 questions as I go around the state. Why should I care about these races? They are generally low-profile, low-interest races. Why should I support you? And once I convince them, hopefully, of the right answer to those questions, how can I help? These races are critical. One reason being the courts are important. I know many of you are lawyers, so I don't have to convince you, but both the Supreme and even the Superior Court decide issues that are important to every individual, every family, every business in this state, whether it's jury awards, criminal issues, family law issues, even trusts and estates. And you are electing these judges, just like in the courts of common pleas at your county level, for 10 years. So you really do want to make sure that you make an informed choice, the right choice, so to speak. This year, like I said, we have 2 openings on the Supreme Court, 3 openings on the Superior Court, which is a 15-member court. In the recent past, Republicans have enjoyed a slight majority on both these courts. That can change this year. So it is very important for the Republican Party. It's also important in terms of setting the tone for important races coming up. We have got to win this year. We need to show Pennsylvanians and the country that Republicans, the Republican Party, Republicanism is very much well and alive. And as I've traveled over the state in the last year, I have become convinced that this party does best represent the values, the priorities of Pennsylvanians. In terms of why you should feel comfortable supporting me, I know I've had the pleasure, the honor of talking to a number of you, but just to briefly summarize a little bit about myself, I do come to you from southwestern Pennsylvania. That's where I was raised, where I continue to live. I lived there with my husband of 27 years, right outside of Pittsburgh, Murraysville, our 3 children, and we also have my mother and my father-in-law living with us. I am in private practice with a large law firm in Pittsburgh. I'm a litigator and also do some health law, teach appellate practice at University of Pittsburgh's Law School, serve in a quasi-judicial role as an arbitrator and mediator. One thing that's a little bit different about me is that this is a second career for me. I started out life as a nurse, practiced and taught nursing for 12 years, have my bachelor's from Temple and my master's from the UVA. Had wanted to go back to law school fairly early on, by the time I was in my late 20s, but had married my high school sweetheart, had to get him through school before I could pursue my career goals. This is, I think, significant in terms of telling you about my passion for the law, my determination, but also it's a very useful background for this court. This is the court which hears most of your appeals and you can appeal as a matter of right from the courts of common pleas. So you're talking not only about medical malpractice cases that involve healthcare issues, but your criminal law cases. Even family law cases where you're looking at the best interests of the child. So I do bring something a little bit different to the Superior Court, also bring my conservative values, and most importantly, my conservative judicial philosophy. I am certainly not someone who would be legislating from the bench. Now that I've convinced you, hopefully, of questions number 1 and 2. Number 3, how can you help? Certainly, like I said, these are low-profile, low-interest races. The biggest problem we face as we travel around the state is voter apathy. We need to get people energized. We need to get them out to the polls and voting for our Republican team. Because of the low interest generally in these races, our margins can be razor thin. In 2003, Superior Court race was decided by less than 50 votes after multiple recounts statewide. That was the contest between Susan Gantman, our Republican candidate, and John Driscoll. And Susan did come out on top there. So this is a race where every vote counts. So I am asking you please to talk this up. Work your networks. Let your friends know how important these races are and how important it is that they find out about the candidates and go and vote and cast an informed vote. If each of you were to call 5 people and ask them to call 5 people in the, I think it's 21 days between now and November 6th, that would have a tremendous effect. I am reaching out to you, asking you to help join our team to bring home a victory in November. Because the governor is a Democrat, we will be at the bottom of the ballot. I am asking people to vote bottom up because I'll be at the very bottom of the ballot since I was a party nominee. But not only would you hit me that way, but you would hit all your Republican candidates. So I thank you for your time at the end of a very enjoyable night here. And I thank Mayor Barletta, who you're always entertaining, always inspirational. So I could hear you any number of times over. And I do appreciate your support this November. So thank you.